Let's welcome in now Florida Congressman Brian Mast to talk more about how resourceful the coronavirus is, especially Congressman in the U.S. Capitol. And full disclosure, Congressman Mast is my congressman. So this is going to be a little different than most of my interviews here, full disclosure. Congressman Mast, great to see you again.
Good to see you too. You know, I was actually wrong about Pelosi. I said before, the person third in line to the presidency fundamentally believes that she can fine Americans for not wearing a mask. She actually went way beyond that. She actually fundamentally believes she can arrest Americans at the people's house, their house of government, for not wearing a mask. That's what this administration, this government of Pelosi, Biden, Harris, Schumer actually think about Americans. It's amazing.
The other thing, too, about this, Congressman, is, you know, a day after Nancy Pelosi and House Democrats and Adam Kinzinger and Liz Cheney put these Capitol Hill police officers on display to, you know, voice their emotions and, you know, recount this stuff, they then asked the Capitol Police to arrest people for not wearing a mask. I mean, they clearly see the Capitol Police Force as their little pawns in this game, don't they?
Oh, absolutely, her pawns. She sees this place as Pelosi's house, not the people's house. And that's exactly backwards. This is of the people, by the people, for the people, or it's supposed to be. All power derived of the government, derived by the consent of the people. She believes the exact opposite of that. And I tell folks all the time, if you think it's troubling seeing it on the news or on your program, you just can't imagine how disgusting it is seeing it from a foot in front of your face every day.
Now, you know, we're not going to see these mask mandates in our district, are we?
No, I think they're working to put them anywhere they can. So they're going to start with places that they have a federal hand in play, right? So obviously you see them trying to say, if you work for the Department of Veterans Affairs, they have to be allowed to stick the government needle into your arm and say, take your medicine. And if you don't take the government medicine, then you're going to be fired. That's going to extend to every government agency. Probably they'll work to include the military in that as well, whether you're active duty, National Guard, or reserves, they'll lump you into that. They'll go to people that work in an IRS department or a Department of Homeland Security or anything like that. If they're a government employee, they will work to make that mandatory, and then they'll work to pressure every other entity down the line to say, if you don't comply, we're not gonna, you know, we're gonna do this, this, and this, to include jailing or fining you.
It's really unbelievable. And you know, again, we are not trying to discredit the seriousness of this. You know, we can talk about the increased transmission rates, hospitalizations are up. We're not seeing the deaths, though, that, you know, came with the other waves of COVID right here. But Congressman, I know you have worked so passionately on this issue of improving health care at our VA medical system. And, you know, that's obviously a huge problem. Well, does this, you know, requiring Defense Department employees or government contractors or VA healthcare workers, is this going to improve anything in the VA healthcare medical center system?
No, you know, this is the hilarious and sad point about it at the exact same time. So they can fire somebody for not doing what they say in terms of, you have to get this vaccine, doesn't matter other things going on in your life, you have to get it. But they can't fire somebody for poor performance. They won't do that in the VA.
Right.
They won't fire somebody because they're not doing their job well. You said serious things at play. There's two very serious things at play. There's no doubt that people's health concerns as it relates to COVID, that's a serious issue at play. But equally serious, even more serious than that at play, is the freedom of Americans.
Right.
And that can never be downplayed, that you have the right to decide what goes into your body, whether you work for the government or not for the government or anywhere else. You get to decide, or you have to be able to decide, right, if you want to stick a needle in your arm or not. That's not a government choice.
And again, you know, I think what's really concerning to a lot of people here is you see the infringement on our constitutional rights, the government thinking that they have a right to, you know, arrest people for not wearing these masks here. There are just some basic fundamental things here. You know, federalism comes into play. That's a key issue here in all this as well. And, you know, I think there are a lot of people that are just not going to stand for it. They are just not going to go back to where we once were. Congressman Brian Mast, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
All the best.